Good morning. Hello there. So I was walking along the ocean here in my usual daily walk, and I was reminded of something that I wanted to riff a little bit about. So I saw this young woman with a lot of pizzazz. She was really fun, a young woman in her late 20s on Instagram, talking about personal freedom from the standpoint of clothing, her style, her image, her everything, and how, like, she was using that as a conversation starter for how to be genuine, authentic, and all of that. You know, like, that's the journey for everybody, isn't it? Like, we are born into conditioning and we spend the rest of our lives either being conditioned with awareness or being conditioned with no self-awareness and just living like that in a pretty contented way. Or there's a smaller percentage, I guess, of people like us that want to set ourselves free of it. And but what most people that set out to do that work, set out to be spokespersons for that freedom, what they miss, and they all miss this, okay, all of them, 100%, and that's why I'm here. What they all miss is that whatever flavors of difficulty and struggle that comes up for them, they make that be their mission. So they write books about it, they talk about it, and this particular girl, her thing was a lot around the question, who are you to wear this? Who are you to wear this? So that was a thing that came up for her a lot when she was picking clothing, a jacket or a dress or accessories. Like, that was the flavor of her most, her deepest shadow. So she would find herself over and over and over again with that difficulty of self-question of who are you to wear this? So of course that when she would sense this hesitation and this struggle, she would know that that's the thing that she wanted to wear. So, but the thing is that then she would educate the people with that angle, with that flavor, with that question. But the thing is, and what everybody misses, is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all question to set us free. Because we all have different flavors of difficulties and different flavors of what we like and what we don't like, what's for us and what's not for us. And all these flavors have different ways of showing up in our lives. So there is no one size fits all question. There is no one size, not even two sizes fits all questions. Like, it could be another thing. I remember that another one of her expressions is that, like, she creates jewelry and she was creating this big ring with a flower, and she decided to create it even bigger because she was like, this is not cunty enough. So she had a thing, like the flavor that it turned her on. What turned her on were things that her shadow would perceive as cunty, and who are you to wear that? You know? So those were the things that would spark more joy, would lit her up. So those were the things that, of course, that she would go for. but that's just her flavor, you see. So it's not transferable to the entire humanity, because we don't all have a problem with that. Like I don't question myself hardly ever. Who am I to whatever? I don't have that flavor. I have many others, and those are my personal things that I overcome. So, and that's why modalities are also a big fallacy, because modalities also are born from this specificity thing, believing that that's the thing, that's the doorway into truth. And it's not. The doorway into truth is never a thing. It's never a specific flavor or modality or tool, or you have to go down a few notches and go to the common denominator, which is what's for you and what's not for you. What is it that sparks true joy, true curiosity, true delight, true turn on, that's what's for you. And what's not for you is what doesn't, and quite the opposite. What's distasteful for you, what's a turn off. So that's where the common ground is. So that's what's universal and transversal to everybody. And there's not one single person that does not have that, So the truth is this unquestionable level of existence. Everything else is just an illusion. So, in people with the best of intentions blast into the stratosphere and to the interwebs their own thing, and of course that it attracts many people, because there's many people that have that flavor of struggle, you see. So people get attracted to that, but then the fallacy is to believe that that's the doorway to freedom, which is not, because then they will have other types of struggles and difficulties, and they will not know how to resolve them, because they didn't go to the bottom of it. They didn't catch the actual truth level. And then they will be looking for someone else that is dealing with that other issue in order to find a way out, supposedly, and it's just, you go from person to person and method to method and question to question, and that's endless.